What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are having a good weekend. I've started my weekend a bit early, and I wanted to get the jump on the Guns N' Roses news and get ready for their tour that's going to be kicking off tomorrow in Ireland. And we've got some new footage of Axel. This, I believe, is from LAX airport. He's with his security guard. He's going through security, and this paparazzi guy just starts, pestering him a bit. And it's funny because the paparazzi guy is such an idiot. He calls Axel Slash. And Axel handles it really well. He just basically says, "I'm Axel." And basically you can see Axel going through security. And then I guess supposedly a police officer comes up to this paparazzi and escorts him out. And they get into a huge argument over it. And, I've been to LA a couple times. And I've always had the privilege, or sometimes maybe not the privilege, of just like seeing these guys on the street chasing celebrities at airports, and they're just really like cockroaches. I don't really feel bad for them at all. I feel bad for the guys in guns who have to deal with these guys all the time. But let's go into our next piece of news. If you want to see the video of Axel, I've linked to it down below. And it looks like the Irish media is pretty happy that Guns N' Roses are going to be playing. This is the front cover of the Irish Daily Mirror, and you can see Guns N' Roses are featured on the front page. And then we've also got some photos of Duff in Dublin. So it looks like Guns have been there for a couple days, and they're just taking in the sights. And there's a couple photos that I've seen Duff take with fans, as well as Del James. Haven't really seen any photos of Slash yet, or any of the other members in Ireland. But I just wanted to share these with you guys. And I also got a message from one of my subscribers who told me that he may know where Guns N' Roses is staying, but I think it's more of a guess. So there's a hotel called the Clarence in Dublin, which I believe is owned by U2, and it's themed as like the rock and roll hotel. Now, if you go to TripAdvisor, whenever I'm going on vacation, the first thing I do when I'm looking at a hotel is go on TripAdvisor. It's ranked about the 40th or 44th best hotel in Dublin. And then I just went to like the top hotels in Dublin, at least according to ratings. And I think these are also some of the hotels that Guns N' Roses are probably staying at. And then we've also got some photos of the stage being set up at Slane Castle. And then there's also it's a brief clip of the backstage area of the Guns N' Roses show at Dublin. So here's a little clip of it. So you can hear that they're playing Estranged at the rehearsal. Now, there's also a rumor going around that Axel showed up to the rehearsal, and I think that could be a sign that Guns N' Roses may be changing the set list up a bit. And I hope that is the case, because if these guys are going to be touring for the next, pretty much the rest of the year, that they do change up the set list. So let's go into our next piece of news. So we've also got some news about who's going to be opening for Guns N' Roses as a special guest for their Hershey, Pennsylvania show. So Live is going to be opening for them. I don't know if there's going to be any other openers, but they've only announced, I guess, who's going to be opening. I looked at some of their tour dates that were announced for this fall in the US and Canada, and I haven't seen any other bands listed as opening acts. We just know who you guys may end up seeing. So ZZ Top is on there, the Deftones is on there. We've also got Royal Blood, and of course Live is one of them too. So we also got some news about Richard Fortus. So it looks like Richard Fortus has a new website. You just go to richardfortus.com, and he's got a whole website about himself. You can get in contact with him and so forth. And the final piece of news I want to let you guys know is that I had previously reported that their photographer, Kat Benzova, was on tour with Aerosmith in Israel. And there was some talk that maybe she wouldn't be joining Guns for this leg of the tour, but there was a photo put up on social media of her drinking Guinness in Ireland, so it's safe to assume that she's on tour with Guns N' Roses, and maybe she just snuck in the photo shoot with Aerosmith just before Guns would hit their Europe tour. So that does it for today's news. I hope all of my European subscribers and European fans have a great time going to the Guns N' Roses shows across Europe. Stay safe. And hopefully you guys can let me know how you enjoyed the shows. So make sure you tune into my channel tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a full recap of the Slane Castle show, talking about the set list, any notable events that happened. And then on Sunday, we're going to be actually having a guest on our podcast. I think we're shooting for, it might be 5:15 p.m. Eastern. So one of our guests is going to actually be going to the Slane show, and he's going to give us a full rundown of how the show was. The other thing I'm kind of curious to see is whether Guns or Mark Lanegan perhaps, or Royal Blood, are actually going to be doing a tribute to Chris Cornell. So that does it for today's video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks so much for tuning into the podcast we had yesterday. And I want to thank you guys for helping me reach 10,000 subscribers. That is awesome. It almost took me a year to do that. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Facebook. The links to my social media channels are down below. And my poll is still open to go choose what song you want me to cover on the next episode of Guns N' Roses True Story. And hit the subscribe button if you love Guns N' Roses as much as I do. Take care.